Good morning, magandang umaga, and welcome to today's episode of My PI Dream. Today is Tuesday, and it is build day 239. Yes, build day 239 on a construction schedule out at Villa Feliz, and window guys are going to be there today. We're going to get some more windows installed. I hope we get the waterproofing done on the front of the house. I hope we can get that filled in by the close of business today. More finishing done today. I don't know if my mason guys are going to be there today. They weren't there yesterday for some reason. I'm not sure. I'd like to get that driveway closed out. I asked my builder to go ahead and order those 1,000 grass blocks. So as soon as those get delivered and we get a little bit of sand spread out, we might have a driveway. Also, I have in my box here, I have my PLDT modem and my lunch. And we need to get that hooked up and get it online so that the technicians go ahead and do the configuration and get us ready to receive data out at Villa Feliz. If that's the case, we might even be able to do a live streaming event here in the near future. So anyway, let's go ahead and get today started. So without further delay, let's get today's video underway. Good morning. How are you today? Hey, Mark. Are you packing? Are you going on vacation? Where are you going? What you got? Oh, you just have so much stuff there. You are never without some type of a toy or something to keep you occupied. All right. Oh, look at there. You got some chairs and a table. Wonderful. Hey, Mark, I have to go to work. I see you later. Later. Are you the dog whisperer? Yes. Yes? Good morning, Michelle. How are you today? Is that his job today? Yeah.
Exercise.
Exercise.
Walking.
Who's getting the exercise? I don't think this one's getting much exercise.
No. This one is noisy.
Hey, you know what? Was that? Did you use my papaya? Yes. And that was awesome. That was like the best chicken. Yeah, that was the best chicken tinola. Yeah. So when I look at the chicken tinola inside there, what is the papaya? What is inside the soup stuff? It's not the stuff that looks like chayote, is it? Chayote. Is that in the chicken tinola? So is that the papaya? Was that the white stuff in there? I didn't know that was papaya. I did not know that. Because that's one of my favorite parts of the chicken tinola. You gotta teach me how to make that. You have to teach me. We're gonna have a cooking show. We'll have a cooking show with you. Show us how to cook tinola. Okay, see you later. Morning, gentlemen. How are you today? Very good.
How about you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm going to work. Yeah, you beat me again today. You're too early. It is.
Good morning, Frank.
Good morning. Well, it's about 8:15. I love the morning times, even though this is late in the morning for me. But I still love the morning. I love the smell of the air in the morning. I love the greenness and the shades and everything like that we have, which is part of the AM. The crew for the windows, I actually passed them on the way in. They're here, they're getting started. Some of the finishing people are starting doing their finishing this morning, and I think it's going to be a very productive day today. For me, one of the things that I'm going to work on is I'm going to start doing some of the network stuff. The patch panel is inside the Bahikubo. The wires are inside the control panel inside the hallway, and I might as well take advantage of my time today while I'm here waiting on PLDT for their connection, for the configuration, and do some of the things I need to do. I didn't want to do the patch panel right away because when they do the painting inside there, I don't want to get any paint all over the patch panel. But you know what? We can cover it up and we get everything done, or they can paint around it. Something that I talked with my builder about yesterday was, what are we going to do to that area inside the hallway? It's the original concept was it is going to be a control panel with some doors on it, so you have access to the switch, to the CCTV recorder, and if you need to do any configurations inside there. And again, that is our utility panel inside there. But there's a lot of space below it that can be utilized for something other than just closing a door on it. So what I asked them to do is this. So like I was saying, this area is going to be the control panel. The patch panel is going to go here. We have CCTV connecting to a DVR or an NVR. And then I asked them underneath the bottom here, we're going to close it off at this point. So there'll just be cabinet doors on this area right here. And down in this section right here, we'll put some shelves inside here. So we can put some books inside there, or just a couple of very simple knickknacks inside there. Nothing that gets a lot of dust. Or we can put something to give a little bit of a homey feeling when you walk through the hallway. Well, as you can see, it's break time, so it's probably, I don't know, I haven't looked at my watch, but it's probably a little after 10 o'clock, maybe 10 quarter. And as you can see from the slow motion video, I was working with the guys over on the side doing the backfill around the pipes. That's one of the kind of places that you really want to have some oversight, because what'll happen is, you see a lot of this is clumpy, really clumpy, and they stored a lot of the soil inside the bags to just get it out of the way. Instead of piling it up like this, they pile it up in the bags on the side, so it would make it easy for them later on to be able to move it to the fill site, which is the side of the house. And what happens is that soil gets really hard and clumpy, I mean extremely clumpy, and what will happen is, if they throw that and pop it right on top of some of your pipes, there's a chance that your pipes might come separated. I know they're glued, they're PVC glued, and the PVC is supposed to be very strong, but the thing is, you don't want to put any additional stress on your pipes and things like that. So one of the things I want to do when they're doing this is, I want to be here and I want to make sure in areas that require tender loving care, I call it, like around your pipes right here for the electrical going inside your house, and your pipes for your downspouts, and especially your septic tank pipes right here. What I asked them to do is, when we get to that point, I want to use some of the softer soil so we can compact it in just a little bit, and it doesn't, when they throw it in there, they don't throw it right on top of it. So that's the fastest way to get a crack. You'll get a crack in your foundation where the pipe is actually in there, and we already did. We had that this morning when they were throwing stuff on this side. Where was it? One of these pipes over here, maybe it was this one over here, and they were tossing stuff, and they popped something on there, and it made a little crack in where the waterproofing is for the PVC that goes into the foundation, into the concrete hollow block. So I had them reapply the waterproofing on there, and we continue doing the backfill. Yeah. Something I like doing, if I have the time and the resources, is to any of the deep buried pipes, like the pipes we have down here in the front of the house, and the ones that go around. Remember I talked about burying them in the 3/4 inch crushed rock, and that's a good idea to do that. There's several reasons for that. It's for drainage, it's for stability, and that's the main thing. is when you put them around the rock inside there, if the earth shifts, if you have any seismic activity or anything like that, the gravel shifts around it, but it doesn't, it's not so tight around the pipe that the pipe will crack. Which will happen is if you have a lot of really heavy compact soil on there, and that helps you with protecting your pipe. And we did it in a lot of spots. We have it around here, underneath that soil there, and we're going to also put, once we get our second coat of waterproofing over here and we start backfilling, the first part of the backfill over there is going to be gravel. And the main reason for that is for drainage. We want to make sure that we have good drainage that doesn't set up against the side of the house. So we want as much crushed rock at the lower levels as possible. So these are the screen mechanisms that this is an add-on. This is an option for these windows, and we wanted screens for all of our windows that open up inside the house to prevent as much of the outdoor wildlife from getting to the inside of the house. I have to share something with you. You know, a lot of times I focus on some of the things that go wrong in the house, but that's just to identify things for you to look out for when you are making a building project yourself. But I also like to focus sometimes on my successes. Well, I always like to focus on both the successes and the failures. And all of our failures are not real failures, because what we do is we identify it and then we make a correction. I gotta tell you, I got one of the best builders around. All I do is I mention something. Like yesterday, I mentioned, by the way, inside our control panel, we never really discussed how we're going to enclose it and what we're going to use that nook for, because it's a lot of area inside there. And I think I talked about it this morning. So I just mentioned to him yesterday, and the word just travels through him directly to his workers. Let me show you what Kempy's doing right now. So Kempy is working on the cabinetry that's going to close the command post, I'm calling it, inside there. That is all of our network and infrastructure, our utility infrastructure inside of there. And those are the sides of the cabinetry he's working on right now. And then below the bottom, like I said, we're going to have a couple of shelves inside there. So interested to see how that turns out as well. How the screen works. I want to show you these. These are like high quality, top of the line. Inside the track inside here, I don't know if you can see it. We can look on this side. Oh, you can see on this side. You see there's a like some feathering or something to protect the screen, the slide that goes inside there and keeps it clean. So I guess you pull down on here. And that's locked in place. And we have our screen. And you push. Ah, I like it. I like it. Very good. Thank you. Well, I just want to show you what we received here. I don't know if it was yesterday or this morning, but we have the precast. See the precast here, and these are for the arches, and these are for the arches for the stairwell, for the front of the house at the very top of the west wall. And I believe the other one is for the master bathroom over the top of that section right there. So a lot of the archways. I've been waiting for these to come in. I was wondering how long. And I guess it takes a skilled individual to have one man on their team that does all the exact measurements for the precast. And that's why these are one of the last things to get delivered. Okay, well, it's after lunch, and Emma Ruth from Forland Q, our window people, she just left, and she did her inspection. She said everything is going good, but she couldn't do everything because they're still installing hardware. She wasn't able to do the complete, but her foreman will do the final inspection upon delivering over to me, which is going to be tomorrow. But what she did inspect, everything was good. So what's remaining on the windows is much of the sealant that goes around the outside of it, some of the hardware. And then what's going to happen at the very end, before they leave, what they're going to do, they have this plastic, and they're going to cover it up with plastic. It's because we don't have any of the house painted except for this little section right here. and that's just one coat. So we still have lots of painting to do. So they are going to protect the inside and the outside of the UPVC and the windows, so that it doesn't get any paint splatter and stuff like that, because it's a real pain to get that stuff off of the UPVC. So they're going to take care of that. But what that means is we're going to have lots of windows closed. So it's going to be a little warm inside the house during some of the construction. There's only going to be certain windows that are going to be open. And what is not going to be open is the sliding glass doors. And the sliding glass doors is that big opening. So the main entrance now is going to be the main entrance of the house for most of the ingress and the egress. And maybe we'll have a window open somewhere else. But most of the windows have to be closed because once they seal it, you can't open and close it. So a tip of the day. The tip of the day is, if you're building over here, and try to schedule your installation of your windows and window frames after your house has been completely painted, and it will make it a lot easier, and it'll be very clean for when they put the sealant around it. Everything will be easy, and then they won't have to do all these things that we're going to have to do with the trying to protect the windows while they're doing all the painting. So even though I talk about oversight, being here all the time, and you can avoid a bunch of mistakes, well, even when you're here and you're doing oversight, there's still going to be mistakes. And today, just two things that overlooked me, which I thought I was in full control of, and somehow I turned my back for a minute and things got spun around 180 degrees. And I'll tell you a couple of things. Do you remember I was talking just earlier this morning about this area over here, that we are going to bury gravel inside there. We're going to put the gravel down so we got good drainage and put it all around the pipes, so in case there's any shifting or seismic activity. And that's what I expressed, and I thought I had a clear communication going on with the crew, and there was a lot of head nodding, but you're going to find out when there is a language barrier, there's going to be a lot of head up and down, nodding up and down like that, and that doesn't mean that they understand what your desires are. So you have to be very, very clear, and I thought I was, and we did a lot of body language and stuff like that to make sure that we got the gravel down in that part right there. And I said, do not do any filling in, zero. I said no dirt until I get a chance to go back and inspect all the area there. Well, after lunch I walk over here, and I don't know when it happened, I don't know what I was doing that in another area that I missed all this, but I walked over here and this whole area was almost filled in again. And then I asked the question, I said, did you put all the gravel in there? And they were like, well, I don't know. So I said, hold on. So I started digging a hole. I kept digging and digging and digging, and I never hit any gravel. There was no gravel inside. There was no gravel except for what was all the way down at the very base of the floor beam. At the very we started, they put zero gravel down. So I had to make a call, and it was a tough call. I said, we have to dig the soil out. So we dug out half the soil on one side. The side closest to the house, we dug all the way down to the floor beam, and we refilled that in with gravel. We have plenty of gravel left over. You see all the gravel we have over here. We have plenty of leftover, and that's supposed to be used for doing finalizing of this area right here, and we still have plenty, and we still have to use some in the area down on the other side. Let me show you that. But we took care of that. It took us, we lost about an hour's worth of work today, but we got that taken care of. Let me show you the other thing. Remember we talked yesterday, the day before, that where we made our design for the molding, you know, the molding, this molding here that goes around the house, and we were going to take it and it was going to go up and straight down right here, and we're doing the arch here. Well, I walk over here an hour ago. I don't know what happened. I didn't even catch this, that they were chipping this up here, but they're running the molding up here, the precast, all the way across. And I'm like, what? And it was their boss was the one who we did the finalizing for the 90-degree angle that ran right with the retaining wall over here. And then they chipped all of this out of here, which means for us to fill it back in, it will probably never, well, yeah, it's a possibility. They can do it, but to make it look clean, we wouldn't even notice it. But the chances are that it won't, and we see some scarring or some anomalies there are likely, and I don't want to see that. So I had to make a call, and the call is, do we go back, and you see I had them line it off and do the original design over here, or do we go ahead and let it go across there? So the main reason we're not going across there is because we're putting an archway. So I spoke with the team here. I said, are we able to fit the archway and have that up there? Maybe we can cut out a small section of this so we have a little bit of a gap inside there. So I didn't want to do that, but I also don't want to do a repair of all this area right here. It's a tough call. So since they already had to cut out, and they had to cut out for the light that goes there, they already have the hole inside there. And that was another reason why I didn't want to put it over, because I wanted to mount the light flush on the wall, on the column. So I made the call. Since they already had it, they have it cut, they have the hole made, they've got all of this chipped out over here, and they'll be able to do a 10 centimeter molded precast trim on there. I said, go ahead and continue, make it go all the way around, and it'll look good, but I'm not sure with the proximity of the molding with that detail up there, the precast detail at the same time. I'm not sure, being so close together, how that's going to look. I guess we're going to find out. So anyway, it is after break time. It's about 3:30, and everybody's back to work doing their thing. And I'm trying to think, there's so many things going on here today. We have somebody fixing the wall. You saw him breaking down the wall in the retaining wall. We're one concrete hollow block too high to match the other side to do the levelness for our entranceway coming into the driveway. Again, this all has to do with strategy and proper planning, and that doesn't always happen on your build site. So so that's being corrected now. So I can see him from over here. We have our window team still doing the windows. Remember, tomorrow is the last day for the window team. And we have the precast guys who are putting back on what I just told them to take off, and made the call that, oh, well, we're going to try putting it back on again, the precast siding that we're putting on the side of the house. And then, of course, on the inside, we still have a lot of painting and a lot of finishing, all kinds of stuff going on the inside. I really haven't been following too much inside there, but I love that mosaic stone that we have put down inside the shower stall on the first floor CR bathroom area. I mean, I like this so much, I'm even thinking about putting that same, because it looks like a natural stone, I'm thinking about putting that same type of tile work mosaic on our floor, on the second floor. We'll see. Even if they have, I don't even know if they still have in stock. I will find out on Thursday, though. While I'm here, I want to do a few birthday shout-outs. I don't know when this video is going to get up. My internet is still not on here at Villa Feliz. It's possible if I take this home with me tonight, I could have it come back on at night, but sometimes they do configurations overnight. So I think I should leave it here and let them try to do the configuration. Maybe you'll be surprised in the morning. That being said, I'm not sure when this video is going to go out. It might be 1 or 2 days late, but I will try to get it out as soon as possible. So I want to do a few shout-outs, and they're going to be birthday shout-outs. One is for yesterday, one is for today, and one is for tomorrow, in case this has a problem getting out on time. And our first one is going to be a kind of a belated one. It's 1 day behind right now. It might be 2 days behind once I get this out. But Nerf Villas, I guess that's his name, Villas, V-I-L-L-E. It's his daughter, Phoebe K. Phoebe K? Phoebe K. Phoebe K. It's her birthday yesterday on the 20th. So anyway, I want to get that birthday shout out. So happy birthday to you, Phoebe. Well, anyway, our second birthday shout out today, the 21st, goes to Steve Amaro, and it's his 68th birthday today. And how do I know it's his 68th birthday? Because his special lady, Lorna, and let me see if I can get her name right, Lorna Esquera, I hope I got that right, Lorna Esquera, of his special lady of 6 years, who lives down in, I gotta get this right too, Muntinlupa, I hope I got that right, Muntinlupa City. Anyway, that's where she lives at, and she wanted to make sure that I got this shout out to Steve for his birthday, who lives in Aurora, Colorado. Anyway, happy birthday, Steve. Well, anyway, this birthday shout out goes to Arlen Hammond, and it comes from her husband Ray and her daughter Faith, who live in Makati. So anyway, happy birthday, Arlen. Well, let's do a quick walk around and see what got accomplished today, and then I'm going to head back to the house and edit this, probably without internet tonight. And oh, by the way, the PLDT service rep called me from SM Lipa and asked me the question, do I have it working? I said no, it still has not been activated. So he's supposed to make a call for me, and he always comes through, so I'm hoping he comes through for me on this one as well. And you're probably wondering, James, is your house on fire? No, my house isn't on fire. It's just that they're burning some of the waste material that we have out here, so that we don't have to carry that to a dump site somewhere else. So they're burning all the wood items that we have out here. So let's do a walkthrough real quick and see what got done today inside the house. We didn't talk about it today, but this area right here was waterproof. The top of this was waterproof, and he is doing the skim coat on it right now. And I'm not really sure because I kind of want to put some type of roofing tile on there, similar to the decker on the top, but maybe not. At least this will be done, and it will be finished, and it will be painted. He was also the one that was doing all the work inside the stairwell area inside it. So this is getting kind of cleaned up down inside of here. Today, not much extra work got done on the workbench because those workers were working outside, doing all the fill-in. As you can see, we're filling in all this area. Everything that got waterproof is now, the sides of the house that got waterproof is now getting backfilled. But we will continue with this, which is really not a lot more until we get the wood, because we need the high density fiber wood to go inside here and put the top of it on this, and I will build the cabinets later on. I don't think I'm going to pay any extra money to do, because that's something I enjoy doing. Oh, I did not show you in this room. My electrician was working today, and he put in all the LED lights for the basement bedroom. So you can see, we have lots of lights inside of here now. Don't know what's going on with this one right here. Maybe he stopped at that point. But we got all the recessed lights. Everywhere inside of here. And meaning what they call pin lights, or what we call kind of like can lights. Plus we have the LEDs that are going to go up for the recessed lights area around there. I don't know if he did that yet or not. I can't wait till we test the lights. We have electricity, we probably could test it. Lots more painting, and on top of the painting, we are doing the plastic covering of all the new windows that got installed. They're cleaning them and putting the plastic on, and they will stay up, covered like that until we complete all the painting, then we'll take them off. But we can't leave them on more than like 3 or 4 weeks, which it won't be 3 or 4 weeks. We only have about a week's worth of painting that needs to get done. But the thing is, if you leave them on too long on the outside, from the UV, from the sun and the heat and everything like that, it will make a stickiness on the UPVC framing. So it was advised by the rep today to make sure we get that off as soon as possible. Also, you see here the beginning of our cabinet. This was started today. This is our cabinet work. It's going to house our control center for all of our utilities, the internet, fiber, Ethernet, CCTV, and stuff like that. So what we ended up deciding on today is we're going to have 2 sets of doors on here. I believe it is going to be a I can't remember the sizes. we went through so many options today, but we're going to end up putting a door similar to this, 4 doors on here, I believe, and then another 4 doors on the top. And the bottom one will be for all of this. Then we're going to have a shelf inside here, and on the shelf we can put like a DVR or NVR for the CCTV, and we put our switch inside here, a switch at this point right here, and then we can have some storage space up here, and down here is going to be a bookshelf. Also, finally in this room, and we did a water test today, we sprayed water here before we did the grout, but when we flooded it, all the water went down to the drain. And I want you to look at the drain. I love this drain. This is the one that's like the secret drain. And he did a great job doing the tiling inside there. So I'm excited. I like this tile so much, I think we might use this for the second floor as well. And some more trim work. And what they're doing with the trim work, they're doing the fill, and then they will sand it, and then we will end up painting this all white. Both bedroom number 1 and bedroom number 2 got that attention today. And I don't know how many days we're spent on inside of the cabinet, but it's gonna be nice and sealed, and we're not gonna have any problem with warping, I don't believe, or separation from moisture. So these cabinets should be good. And of course, a lot of work out here today on the front of the house. The front of the house is where we did all the fill-in. We finally got the fill-in. These are washouts, clean-outs for the septic tank that's in the private CR in the basement. This will all be buried. We'll just put caps on here when we need to get to them for clean out whenever that happens. And we are slowly getting to see our sidewalk again. I'll bring you back to this side over here by the back of the house. Remember all that soil that's been piled up against the fence for such a long time, the fence line. But you see, we're slowly getting this all cleaned up and adding the additional concrete plaster on the bottom where it was voided. You still see some of the concrete hollow block. So they worked on a little bit of that today prior to us doing the finishing here, so that we can put plants and all. And you can see what I was talking about, like right there and right around that area right there. But we're slowly getting there. You know, when they start doing these kind of things, which is the very final parts of the house, when you're cleaning up in the yard and sections like that, that the house is close to completion, which for us it's like 3 weeks. I don't think we're going to be 100% by our target date, which is going to be before Christmas. And the reason for that, there's a couple of things logistics wise that we're going to have to work on, and that's those stones. If I want those stones from the Stone 2000 company, the specific ones that I want, we might be running just a little bit late on conclusion of everything, but we'll still be able to live in. It'll be missing a wall decoration at that point. So I'm going to close for today. Tomorrow is the last day for the window team to be on site. They will be doing everything to finalize what they need to do, all the sealing, checking all the hardware, everything, and then they will be turning over the keys to me for all the doors for the house here. And then Thursday, remember Thursday is going to be a trip to Alamang to pick out some tiles again. I also have to pay the deposit down so I can get the stone started manufacturing for the great room. So I'm going to close for now. If you enjoyed today's video, please give me a thumbs up, please share, and if you have not subscribed, just click on that little My PI Dream heart in the bottom right hand side of your screen. You'll be subscribed and you'll be notified the next time I upload a new video. Hoping that I have PLDT up and running here very soon. So anyway, until tomorrow, you have a wonderful and blessed day.